What if I told you that the biggest threat to your financial freedom in 2025 isn't inflation, it isn't a recession, and it's not even the housing market. It's something sitting quietly in your wallet right now. Yes, I'm talking about your credit card, because what looks like just a shiny piece of plastic is actually a silent wealth killer that could be draining thousands of dollars from your future. And most people don't even realize how deep the trap goes until it's too late. If you're someone between the ages of 25 and 40, working hard, making decent money, and trying to save or invest, you need to hear this. Because whether you carry a balance or not, credit cards are designed with psychology and compound math that works against you. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the system is set up for you to fail, unless you take control right now. Let's start with something nobody really talks about. Why do people keep spending on credit cards even when they know it's bad? It's not because they're bad with money. It's because credit cards are literally engineered to trick your brain. Studies show that when you pay with cash, you feel the pain of parting with money. But when you swipe a card, that pain is delayed. Your brain doesn't register it as a loss. It feels almost free. This psychological gap is why people spend 23% more on average when using credit cards instead of cash or debit. And here's the kicker. Banks and credit card companies know this. They bank on it, literally. Let me throw some numbers at you. As of 2025, total US credit card debt has crossed $1.2 trillion. The average interest rate on a credit card is now over 22% APR, the highest in decades. And here's the real danger. If you only pay the minimum on a $5,000 balance, it could take you more than 20 years to pay it off, costing you over $10,000 in interest alone. Think about that. You borrowed $5,000 but end up paying back $15,000. That's not just expensive, it's financial slavery. Now you might be thinking, okay, I get it. Credit cards are bad, but what should I do instead? That's where the solution part comes in. Stop carrying balances. If you can't pay it off in full, don't swipe it. Snowball or avalanche method. Focus on paying off the highest interest debt first, while making minimums on the rest. Automate your payments. Never let interest accumulate because of missed due dates. Switch to 0% balance transfer offers strategically if you're disciplined. But here's the deeper solution. Rewire your mindset. Instead of using a credit card as an extension of income, start treating it as a tool for rewards. Only if you can pay it in full every month. Let me give you a real example. A client of mine had $12,000 in credit card debt at a 21% APR. He was drowning, barely making minimum payments. We created a simple payoff strategy using the avalanche method. Instead of paying minimums on everything, he funneled every extra dollar toward the highest interest balance first. In 18 months, he went from $12,000 in debt to completely debt-free. But the transformation wasn't just financial, it was emotional. He told me, "For the first time in years, I can think about building wealth instead of just surviving." That's the real transformation credit card freedom brings. It's not just about numbers, it's about freedom. Now let me hit you with something controversial. Carrying credit card debt is worse than not investing at all. Why? Because the stock market historically gives you about 7-10% returns per year, but your credit card is taking 22% or more from you every year. This means if you're carrying a balance, every dollar you invest is like filling a leaking bucket. The leak is bigger than the water you're pouring in. So yes, before you invest, before you think about building wealth, destroy that debt. Let me get real with you for a moment. It's easy to sit here and throw around statistics, interest rates, and payoff strategies, but the truth is, money is emotional. Debt is emotional, and if you've ever carried credit card debt, you know exactly what I mean. I'll share something personal. In my early 20s, when I got my first job, I felt on top of the world. For the first time, I had my own income, my own independence, and that little piece of plastic in my wallet felt like a golden ticket. I remember the very first thing I bought on a credit card was a laptop I couldn't really afford at the time. I told myself, don't worry, I'll pay it off next month. But guess what? Next month came, and suddenly there were more expenses. Rent, food, hanging out with friends, little emergencies. So I only paid the minimum balance. The next month, the balance got bigger, and the interest charges showed up like uninvited guests. I didn't even fully understand how those charges worked. All I knew was that no matter how much I paid, the number never seemed to shrink. And that's when the stress began. Every paycheck, instead of feeling proud, I felt crushed. I wasn't working for myself. I was working for the credit card company. My money was gone before I even had a chance to use it. And yet, I kept swiping, telling myself, this is temporary. I'll get out of it soon. Maybe you've felt that too. The pit in your stomach when you see the bill arrive in your email inbox. The guilt of buying something small, because deep down you know you shouldn't, but you still do, because you just want a little happiness. The shame when you realize you're not in control anymore. And here's the most dangerous part. Society makes it seem normal. Everyone around you is carrying credit card debt. Everyone says, oh, don't worry, it's just how life works. Everyone has debt. And when something becomes normalized, you stop questioning it. You just accept it, even if it's silently destroying your financial health. But let me tell you, that doesn't have to be your story. The first step is realizing you're not alone. And the second step is realizing you have the power to change. I've been there. I've felt that suffocating weight. And I also know the relief that comes when you finally pay off that last dollar. It feels like you've been set free. And I want you to imagine this for yourself. What would your life look like without that credit card bill hanging over your head? How much lighter would you feel knowing your paycheck belongs entirely to you, not to the bank? That's not just a dream, it's a reality you can build. But it starts with saying, enough is enough. Now let's zoom out. Why is this topic more important in 2025 than ever before? The truth is, we're living in a time where financial pressure is higher than it's been in decades. Inflation hasn't magically disappeared. It's still pushing up the cost of groceries, rent, utilities, and basically everything you need to survive. Wages, on the other hand, are not keeping up at the same pace. For a lot of people, paychecks feel smaller every month compared to rising expenses. And guess who's benefiting from this gap? The credit card industry. Credit card debt in the US is at record highs, crossing $1.2 trillion. And banks are making more money than ever from interest charges, late fees, and penalties. To put it simply, while you're struggling to pay your bills, they're cashing in on your struggle. Here's something shocking. Credit card companies actually hope you never pay your balance in full. They don't really make money if you pay on time every month. The entire business model is built on keeping you in a cycle of minimum payments, where you owe just enough to keep paying interest forever. It's like a hamster wheel. You keep running, but you never move forward. And in 2025, this trap is even more dangerous because of rising interest rates. The average credit card APR is now over 22%, the highest it's been in decades. That means even if inflation cools down a little, the cost of borrowing money stays sky high. For anyone carrying balances, it's like having a hole in your financial bucket that gets bigger every year. But here's where it gets even darker. We're living in a digital age where spending is easier than ever. With one tap on your phone, you can buy almost anything. You don't even see the money leaving your hands. And companies use algorithms and targeted ads designed to tempt you into buying. Combine that with high-interest credit card debt, and you've got the perfect recipe for financial disaster. Now think about the long-term effect. If you're carrying credit card debt, you're not saving. If you're not saving, you're not investing. And if you're not investing, you're falling behind. The wealth gap gets bigger, and you're stuck working harder while getting nowhere. That's why this isn't just about paying off a card. It's about protecting your future self. Every dollar you give to the credit card company today is a dollar that could have been working for you in the stock market, in real estate, or in your own business. Over 10, 20, 30 years, the difference is massive. So when I say credit card debt is the silent wealth killer, I mean it literally. It doesn't just hurt you today, it steals from your tomorrow. And in 2025, with economic uncertainty, layoffs, and rising costs, the people who survive and thrive will be those who break free from this trap. The bigger picture is this. You can't build wealth on a foundation of debt. You can't achieve freedom if you're chained to payments. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets. But the good news? Once you see the system for what it is, you can beat it. You can step off the hamster wheel, patch the hole in your bucket, and finally use your money to build the life you actually want. So, let's come back to our opening question. Is credit card debt the silent wealth killer? The answer is yes, without a doubt. But the bigger truth is, you can choose not to be its victim. Here's what I want you to do today. If you have credit card debt, write down your total balance. List the interest rates. Choose the snowball or avalanche method and commit to attacking it. And if you're debt-free, use credit cards only for rewards, and only if you can pay them off every single month. Because once you eliminate this silent killer, you unlock the ability to invest, grow wealth, and live life on your terms. In my next video, I'll break down the 5 best ways to invest your money in 2025 once you're debt-free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. Until then, kill your debt, build your wealth, and take control of your financial future.